see there's a little bit of a mess from last night, but I haven't been making any videos because this has been kind of running and kind of rough, and I put plugs and wires in it, or just plugs, I should say, just put plugs in it, and I thought I was gonna fix it, and it didn't. What I'd like to do is see what I did last night, fixed it. I bought a set of Bosch 210s. I know, they're big, I understand that. I know they're a little big, but it gives me room to grow, and they were like pretty affordable compared to like the other stuff. So I got those. I changed the fuel filter because I thought that I had 100 or a 10 micron in there after the pumps, before the regulator. It was a 40, so I'm gonna say that's probably my fault why the injectors got clogged up. So I got a fresh 10 micron filter in there and this injectors, and I started it yesterday, and it was immediately pulling 20% fuel out just sitting there idling. So that tells me, as much as knowledge I have on tuning, that it's been adding a lot of fuel to try to keep up with the injectors getting more and more clogged up, sending more and more fuel through it. I'm guessing, I don't know. I had to manually put in the injector data because I have like the version 1 of Terminator on here because I have never updated it, really never had to. But well, one of the updates, they at some point added the Bosch 210s into their little drop down menu, whatever. I had to put in there manually, so I'm hoping it's right, but we'll see. Had to get the old hood prop set up there. Still working on maybe something to do with that, or just leave that like how it is. So I got 210s in here. For some reason, they were taller than the Snakeators I had, but then they fit fine. I thought I was gonna have to get a fuel spacer because I thought they were taller. Well, apparently it's an illusion because they fit perfectly fine. I had to get some adapters for because I bought a Multec injector harness for this, and they're EV1s, so didn't really like that. Is what it is. Everything's done. Good under here. I'll go into the truck and show you the fuel filter. Got me a Red Horse Performance Jobber. It's like $100, so it better be pretty good. I think they're pretty good stuff, but the fuel line was a little long, so I kind of had to do one of them. Is what it is. I hate making PTV lines, so I made sure there's no pressure on each of the, on the fill pump side or the regulator side, so it's not pushing. I kind of pulled it, that way, and then the other way for the fuel pump to make sure there's no pressure on it. So another little update I did too is I had already previously, like a while ago, put a set of kicker 4x6s back here, and I had some cheapy ones up here. Well, I ended up getting a match set of 4x6s for the front, and I got a way better head unit put in here, and put a little boom back in there, because I used to have them in here. I took them out. Well, now it's got a little single 12 back there. It's nothing great, but it's better than nothing. I'd like to drive this truck a lot more this year, because I only put like maybe 2,000 miles on it last year. Now that we're all caught up, basically want to get into what I want to do today. I would like to drive this around, kind of let it slow learn, transfer some stuff back and forth with the learn table into the base map. Basically just enjoy it. It's nice out. I haven't driven it in like 3 weeks because of the injectors. It was like popping and missing. It was idle fine, but under acceleration, it did not run good whatsoever. So I'm hoping that this fixes it. All the travel. Well, let's see how this cold starts. Hasn't started that good cold in like probably a year. Usually it would like start, die, then start it again, and it would be like, okay, it would take a second to catch back up. But I think it's getting better. I think it's fixed. Got the new tuning laptop because the old one no longer is with us. I think the processor died in it, so got the old HP. I'd say that was a pretty successful tuning session. I really wasn't gonna beat on it, but she's been talking about wanting to get a ride, and I just happened to pull into their driveway, and he's like, "Hey, before you leave, give her a ride." And it's my buddy's wife. It was bound to happen. I was leaving. I was telling her, I was like, "Yeah, I'll give her a ride, but I'm probably not gonna beat on it." Well, I was like, "What the fuck's the point of giving her a ride if I'm not gonna beat on it a little bit?" And I'm populating a little more cells in the learn map, so it was for tuning purposes. But anyways, I think that it's running a hell of a lot better. Like, it hasn't started this well in a long time. And when I look through the learn table, turn this way. When I look through the learn table, it was pulling like 28% of fuel at idle. Like, that's how rich it was, trying to keep up with the junky ass injectors. But I think throttle response is better. It sounds crispier idling. Like, I think these things were junk for like a long time. And it's kind of nice having a computer that isn't like 10 years old. This actually works. It's fast, and I don't have to worry about anything happening. And funny enough, this computer was online for like $280, but originally it was $520, and I was thinking like, oh, I won't be able to get that because it's online only. Well, the one I was going to get wasn't in stock at the store at Walmart. So she's like, well, I got this one, and ended up being the one that I wanted to get, but I didn't know. So it worked out pretty good. It's pretty slick. I mean, I like it. It seems to do what I need to do. All I need to do with it is literally just this. And pretty much anything that's a Windows brick would run this shit. So I think it's pretty dialed, but... Doing a little maintenance today. The third member gasket is leaking, and I should have did it when I did the axle seals last fall. So probably not gonna get super in depth with how I do this because I've already showed it how I've done it. I'm not gonna say how to do it, but how I've done it. I mean, I might put little bits and pieces in here, update stuff, but I'm not gonna really time lapse too much. Just because I've already showed you guys how to do that. I got a good gasket, I think. If I can remember where I put it. Oh, here it is. I got one of the lube blocker jobbers. It seems like that's what everyone says is the best one to get. I already, when I put the third member in originally, I basically did the same thing, but with a regular gasket. I put a little silicone around the outside of it, and obviously it's not working. So I had to buy this $25 gasket, which hopefully will fix the leaky rear end issue, because it's leaving spots on the floor from just sitting here, and it's making an astronomical mess all over everything out of the truck. I mean, clearly you can see that it's leaking right around there. I mean, it's obviously not going to leak on the top side, but yeah, you can see it's making a mess. I don't like my shit to make a mess or be leaking all over the place. So I'm going to pop this stuff out real quick, and I'll update you guys once I either drop this on me, have to go to the hospital, or I get it out. It's been about a half hour. Got the axles out, got the drive shaft out. Pretty self-explanatory. There's 4 bolts on each of the axle bearing retainer jobbers, flip, you know, get all that stuff off, brakes out of the way, get the T-bolts out of the way, flip the rotor around, put 3 lug nuts on there, bam, bam. Axle comes out, drive shaft, self-explanatory obviously too. Now, this is gonna be the difficult part because I don't have a fancy aluminum third member. I have the old cast iron one that weighs like 80 pounds. It's gonna be interesting because I don't really feel like pulling the exhaust off because the exhaust is like right on both sides of it. If I don't have to. If I have to, I will, but I'd like not have to. Put this drain plug back in so I'm not getting leaked on. And we're gonna see what we can do here. You can tell that it's a 9-inch, if you didn't know, which I'm sure a lot of you do. You can't get to these bottom bolts with a socket or a ratchet, you have to use a wrench. The more you know. Oh, this thing is going to be very heavy, to say the least. Not looking forward to this. That's why I have not done this yet until now. Just because I know that it's going to be a pain in the ass. There's the two bottom ones. Let's zip the rest of these out. Shop's blowing away. You know, I put this in by myself, but the exhaust wasn't in the way, and it was routed a little different at the time. So, do a little praying and schedule a chiropractor's appointment because this is going to be rough. Holy. Dude, this thing is heavy. Oh, oh man. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. Great, grand, wonderful. There we go. Oh, my Jesus Christ. Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. Brand new jeans, and they're ruined. Got it out. I don't remember that being that heavy because that thing is, like I said, it's not like that heavy. It's just super, super awkward. I mean, like I said, it's got to weigh a solid 80 pounds. And now, ruin my good jeans now because this thing decided to pee all over me when I pulled it out. But it's better than dropping it. So it's out. I'll just go through clean that really quick, and I'll just catch back up with you guys once I start trying to put this back in here. At least this time I won't get covered in gear oil, hopefully this time. Let it sit here and drip and drain for a second, then I'll try putting it back in there. Hopefully I have enough brake clean. I don't know if I have like that much in a can. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Might have to use some starting fluid or something over there just that's gonna get the oil off. Got it all cleaned up. Wiped everything off really good. Not gonna get super serious about cleaning the ring gear and stuff off in there in the spool. But if anyone's curious, this is I think it's a 411 or a 410, one of the two, they're the same thing. But it's a 411 or 10 with a spool and 35 spline. Obviously the axle is the same too. I was worried about the spool when I first got it, but it's really not that bad. It's kind of bucky around corners with the manual part of it. If it was automatic, it wouldn't even matter, but turning corners, it kind of does buck a little bit, but it's not terrible. And the whole thing is a bolt-in 9-inch kit from Quick Performance. Anyways, gasket's on, clean. I'm gonna try to throw this in really quick. And this is what I'm gonna say why it was probably leaking. Now, it could have ripped pulling it out, but I'm gonna say that it probably was already close to getting cut there and obviously over here. So I'm gonna say probably I was leaking, and it's like super brittle. So I don't know.
Beautiful. The gasket looks all right. I think I tore it up. Let me get these zipped on here really quick. And